Aquí. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, Susanna. Okay. Hello, everybody. Ernesto, it's me. And today's presentation, the 10 minutes I have for today, I prefer to use giving you key messages, what is going on, and what the people that they have been doing in the last 2 years. And then you will find all the information about the case in the material that we brought here. It's plenty of videos, documents, and other presentation. So one message is, what have one found before the action? Which was the situation before? What happened during the 2 years? Drawing your attention, especially on the first glimpse of benefits of attending the action, especially in terms of managing command and control, and a quite sharp and multidisciplinary vision from the stakeholder group, which is managing the action, and slightly territorial cohesion, which is improving, looking beyond the case, the very city of Camerano. And an improved view of ICTs, which could be important for the future of the action. And then I will finish recalling few figures about the COVID-19 impact, which is significant in our case, and then red tapes, which is one of the most important bottleneck for the development of a potential local community improvement and bottom-up approaches, impacting everything, especially in the possible innovation. Okay, so location where we are repeating things we have been already presenting previously, but we are Europe, Italy. We are central Italy in the same latitude of Florence on the Adriatic Sea, and and the city of Camerano is a small town in that upper strip, little inland between the coastal offer and the inner territories, which are mainly agricultural and rural. The context, again, I'm not repeating things we already did, is a peri-urban setting characterized by complex mixtures, as many places in Europe, of structure and function. So you can have what they consider breathtaking landscape, hills surrounded by villages, hamlets, medievals, and the sprawl of the new structures in industrial settlements and infrastructure, everything mixed up. You will find information about the case, the very case, especially being given by the meeting in Ancona in 2018 during the first training school in Naples. But anyway, just to recall what we are talking about. We are talking about a network of sandstone caves which mirror the city from below. So that's the image they like to give, and that's how it goes there, and it was during the history. Few figures we are talking about already open and discovered, not all for visits in the visit offer, about 900 meters of tunnels and 2,000 visitors per year. This is that gives you the image of something which is tiny, but anyway, could be a node of spiderweb offer, which is the task for my group, looking at what could be beyond the case. Functions, of course, we are speaking about historical cavities used by the local community, so we will have, of course, cultural and religious, water supply, and food storage and wine, with some linkages, attentive linkaging with local wine producers, and this is more. During the 2 years, but she will tell something more about that. A functional analysis with 5 potential thematic networks, and then we will see during the evolution of the school with my group. ICTs, of course, as most of the cases you've seen here, We did ICTs, and we monitored, measured, we get down with, we enter the cavities with different sensors. We have people in the team which deal with that in the university, and that gives you all the fantastic media that I can use for promoting the case, for doing whatever you want, for measuring how many kilometers, how many metric cubics, temperature, and okay, you will have. Yeah, we are looking of being more proactive using data, but everything will come if the case develops under the management system. Now we have other problems that I will speak forward in the presentation. We are quite cutting edge with technology. This is Slam, who is in the group, who is expert of this. The simultaneous localization mapping, I think something since the last couple 2 years to become one of the most useful. A message, key message to me to give you today. Why Camerano fits within this cost action? Of course, we comply quite well with the presentation, with taxonomy, the taxonomy explained by Giuseppe. And there's a good game, a play with conservation, stability, and development, and we will see this with the students. But more important is I would spend 1 minute on that. This trend of cultural heritage management, what's the old concept and new concept? If you look at Camerano, what we could have seen so far, for sure, the red dots are the situation we found when we were there, and please keep in mind this point, the decision if from state authoritarian top level situation to something which should be a new concept. Of course, we have an historic environmental, cultural, and heritage. It was since the beginning that it was the offer. They are looking at wider economic benefits, social, not only revenues from visitors. The local community is participating, even if you are speaking about something which is not a landmark, is not a big company, is something small, but it could develop. They look also to the democratization of the decision. This is a key commitment from the current municipal administration, looking for multi-skilled professionals. This is very obvious, and there's also good. Strong efforts to look for a local distinctiveness, but to be used in a local community engagement, calling out to the neighboring other potential local communities. We will see this in a picture. If you broaden a little bit the view, this is, as I told you, a small city with a small offer, with little numbers, but is a potential node of a spider network which could play a significant role in a last 25-year struggle of the regional government and the Italian national tourism offer, which is deseasonalization of the coastal offer. This is the door to open to the backward rural environments. All that you see here are existing undergrounds of different level compared with Camerano, which not all of them are developed in terms of offer, but they could be part of a potential network. And I don't want to spend too much on that, but there are a lot of things going on there about the way of reconnecting the coast and the inland. Deseasonalization of local tourism could be done using rural tourism. Yes, of course, we can do that. The problem is it's not clear what we are going to do, especially on the red tapes we were speaking before, because there are no clear position on the region. So this is a struggle that you should have taken into account. There's another important message to be kept in mind by students is that there's a development, for example, of cycling routes connecting the coast with the inner part where in the middle Camerano is, because the infrastructure have been financed by the administration and the national government. What we have to do is to reconnect them. And we did stakeholders mapping, we did interviews, we have a story of things happen, which goes from the first time up to her visit, with things happen that you will see. But last message, I would recall your careful attention This is the situation for the pandemic stop, pandemic shock, sorry, and you see here, in terms of revenues and visitors, we were around 20,000 visitors with 150,000 euros per year, and now we dipped down to a few thousand visitors with no money. And this is a real mess. Why it's a big problem? Because some sector with the pandemic bounces. If you looked at, for example, airlines, seat capacity, or hotel occupancy rates, they are bouncing. Underground is not. Why underground is not bouncing? Because narrow places and people crowding, doesn't sound good for bouncing. So the problem is, where are we heading to in the next future? And the situation is not going well, because I will call you to I'll be pleased to have attention only on that figure, then I'll be finished. Everything went south with the pandemic. That's general. But the problem is, as I told you, from 20,000 visitors to 5,000, and the revenues comes with that. Tourism services management company are all focused. So we are talking about the local ownership, which is public, but who decided to give the managing and the tourism offer of the network cavities to a private. They are all taken by the idea of containing this huge impact. What the government is doing, the government there is subjected to a soft power by another tourism underground offer, which is Frasassi Caves, 300,000 visitors a year, up to 1 million. This gravity pool is very huge, and it obscures all other initiatives. For example, they are looking, local administration Camerano, for finding a way out of red tapes. They are looking for a solution which could be a special regional law. Frasassi said, no way, this is only for me. So what happened? They are trying to come out of that mess with a museum-like solution. This is a sort of emergency brake to be pulled, but it would be the utter failure of whatever could be local community engagement, because if Camerano is turned into a museum, that's the end of a process started 15 years ago with an heritage which has a long history. How many do I have? Finished. These are the key messages.
Okay. Mira, me voy a poner aquí. Hi. My name is María Murillo. I did a short-term scientific mission on Camerano, hosted by the municipality of Camerano through Ilaria Fioretti. He was really, really helpful during all the research process. And now I'm going to present the case, but using the methodology that I've been developing during the last few years, that is a multi-scale approach following the historic urban landscape statement. In short, we understand, sorry. Oh. Thank you very much. In short, we understand the territory as a sum of layers, which are analyzed from a global to a local perspective. These layers are not only related on the map, they are also related on social issues, because at the end, we have to perceive the territory, so it's not only mapping. Because of that, we develop different interviews with the stakeholders. We can't do the living last because of the pandemic restrictions. But we realized that Camerano and its underground city are part of different networks already, and they have different impacts on the case. The first one is the Ribera del Conero network. Now we are presenting 16 municipalities. Camerano is here. This network is a tourism network, and it's managed externally. It presents an extraordinary range of activities. All of them focus on the importance of the network beyond the individualism of any city. But in front of that, we have the real case that Ernesto has mentioned before, that Frasassi, for example. This network is really important because this idea, but then when we where on site, the reality is not so fantastic, so amazing. The network that we want to point out is the Hypogea network. That is one of the projects that the University of Ancona is working on. Ernesto here. This network is really important because they are highlighting the territory and its geography, which is really important when we are using the historic urban landscape analysis. The Marche reveals a great variety of underground built heritage representing all known types: ancient aqueducts, quarries, tunnels, caves. Among them, we highlight the case of Osimo, quite similar to Camerano, and the case of Frasassi, which is a little bit more there, who is drawing all the attention of the government and on the budget. Now we also want to point out another network, that is the Rosso Conero area. This area is an area with an ancient tradition of wine growers. And it's important too because we are analyzing the cultural influence, the tourist influence, and wine tradition is also part of it. And nowadays, there is a group of 20 wine growers in the area, in the Conero mountain. We can also talk during all the mission. We have interviews with all the managers of the different scale of analysis on this network. And then we have another network. This one is a little bit shorter. That is the Parco Regionale de Conero. It's a protected natural area around the Conero mountain. This incredible network have a really interesting park with a large number of animals and wide spaces because of the transit of migrating birds. Until now, we have seen how the city is related to its territory through tourism and cultural strategies, geological system, wine traditions, and natural parks. All of this network, thank you, Susanna, are deeply important if we want to highlight the case in context, because we don't want a singular case making shadow of all the cases. We need to understand the heritage, or I understand in that way, as a network, as a city. So you can think on the object isolated. It's part of a huge network of things, and you have to take the information and the perspective of each of one. And now we're going to focus on the Camerano case. The Camerano city, that Ernesto has shown also too, is a really small city with 7,200 inhabitants. This city is more like a dormitory city. And the network caves give rise to the underground city of Camerano, is above the historic city. It has been documented human settlements from the Neolithic. It's one of the centers, the first centers inhabited by the Pisan people. And it was occupied during the Second World War by the Germans. Also, the caves were a shelter during this period, and it happens also in other caves of the area. The city has also a small number of infrastructure because it's really small, such as hotels, restaurants, and exhibition and museums. In addition, owing to its geography, many areas have difficult access by walking. So that is also a problem if you want to manage if you want to create activities, or you want to get engagement from other local municipalities. Camerano is also a city with a deep industrial mentality due to the economic move during the 60s, with the establishment of numerous craft and industrial companies, especially in the musical instrument sector. Farfisa, I don't know how to say accordion. I don't know, it's a musical instrument, really, really famous in the area. They also focus on plastic processing, clothing, and wine production. This industrial mentality, I think, if you are in the group of work that we are going to meet this afternoon, you have to understand this in order to make a proposal, because if you want to have the engagement of the community, and this community has another mentality that's not touristic, because Camerano is not a coastline city, it's inside. It can be really, really interesting to point out in order to make the valorization process. Okay, and now some interviews with the stakeholders. We meet with many people, one of them pictures and one of them not. And also here is the underground city. We have used this picture in order to make you understand how these two layers, the underground and the overground, are connected on the historic center. The case, as Ernesto said before, has many uses during its life. There is no historical document of their first occupation. And they also have many architectural details, embellishment, carving, decorative things. It's not also a cave that you occupy. It's a city because you have spent time to decorate it, to make your own place. It's a different perspective. And here some a picture that the scanner that also Ernesto showed before, in order to understand the same that we have said before of the underground city and of the ground city. And thank you very much. We did a SWOT analysis that you can take a look on the folder that we shared of the case study. Thank you, Susana.
Hi, so now if there is any question from the floor, please raise your hand. Please.
A couple of minutes. How long was mine?
Hello, my name is Ran. I'm from University College Cork, and I have studied.
Can't hear you.
Louder. Okay. I study similar topics, and when I see on your slides, there's a laser scanner, 3D GPS, and slime building.
Sorry, come again.
You can hear.
There's the air conditioning. Do you wanna?
It's okay.
Came here maybe. Susanna, we have to interact for 5 days. Please come here. Come over here.
Okay. Now better? Now can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. I see you made a map. You made a city map using a combination of different methods, such as laser scanner, slime, etc. And can you tell me in which kind of area you use each of these methods, and how did you combine them all into one map, manually or with softwares?
Sorry, which? Yeah. Please come over here. Tell me what you want to know, because that's my presentation of my
yes.
Okay, right.
It was,
Okay.
so it was.
This is not a laser scanner. Okay.
What's
your question?
Okay. You use a lot of methods to get a city map.
Yes.
In different areas, you use different methods.
No.
How did you? Oh, no.
So the question is that we use different ways of sensing the cavities if we did in different ways. No, the network cavities was analyzed by company with the previous technology, and that was an initiative of the municipality, and they did the classic 3D model reconstruction using photogrammetry, and then the university redo the same in last year using the SLAM methodology, but it was only a part of the network cavities. The public and private model offering of a network cavities which are owned by private dwellers of the city and the municipality, it doesn't allow the access to the overall network cavities. So the municipality decided to try to get under their control the most they can of the cavities, and for that part we did these two analyses. and 3D model build reconstruction. The first round was for advertisement purposes, for making videos, attracting visitors. The second, SLAM technology was coupled with a sensor, and the main purpose was protecting the cavities, calculating the number of people.
Yes, and to monitorize, because there was a huge earthquake, because the main safety problems of the case is the earthquakes. Sorry, are the earthquakes. So this 3D mapping was to monitoring the state, the current state of the case, because there were one huge grieta. Sorry. Well, there was several indicators of the caves are moving because of the earthquakes, and there are some grieta. Bueno, pues no me acuerdo. Indicators, and they want to have the current state in order to control if there a new earthquake, how it's going to affect to the structure. Also, when Ernesto was talking, first of all, the caves were private, and in the last 12, 15 years, they were expropriated by the municipality, and they create the guided tour in order to make it accessible to the rest of the people. But this 3D map is not only for the public caves, it also has some private caves in order to have all the systems established because of the architectural structure of all these cavities. I don't know if that is your question, but...
I think I understand most of the things. Thank you.
So any other question, please?
No, it's terrible.
Thank you for the presentation. During the presentation, there was an urgency towards the situation of, well, COVID practically. But I guess that in 2-3 years, or maybe 5 years plan, this wouldn't be much of a problem. As you were saying, maybe the earthquakes could be a problem, or maybe there would be a maintenance problem, because at least what I'm seeing from the pictures, it seems like there is a certain degree of maintenance going on still with the caves. So there is more of a question of exploration, of seeing if there is more caves, or if you can coordinate this kind of like the area practically to coordinate this. Yes. So is the problem the urgency of the matter? Is it more in the sense that with this money there is a assumption of more maintenance going on and more exploration? Like, what is it needed for? Because there is different kind of issues that can come out of that.
Who comes first?
Okay, the budget it's also for the maintenance, because now in the picture everything is fine, everything is really beautiful. But if you have to maintain a itinerary tour, you have to have all the stairs, all the access in a good condition, and that is not the case, for example. And also you have to control the radon. It's a gas. I don't know how the translation is. Also all the management of a place. And the problem is that this budget is not depends on the benefits of the caves. They didn't have any budget from the regional administration. And also this regional administration forced the caves to have the same conditions that they would have if they were in the moment that they closed. So you can't change anything in order to improve some accessible paths for the people with disabilities. It's complicated.
Can I say something? Okay, it looks like that looking for outside. Do you know, in my personal opinion, why that money coming from the visits are important? Because these are the solid testimony that this model works. Because if you look at here, you see that there's a public-private system. So for all the maintenance, all is linked with, since it's a public ownership, all the links with the security of visits, maintenance, cracks for earthquakes. You have a public parallel flow of money, so you can maintain them. If you go to a museum, it can survive, but this is not a local case. This bunch of money flowing through the visits managed by a local company, which hire local people, which has led flourishing of small local activities around the entrance. You can enter in one place and come up in another place of the city. For tourists bored to death about the sea and the sand coming up in the rainy days, this model is justified by that small amount of money. If it goes out, the model collapses. If it collapses, the city and the most important stakeholder, which is the people living in the city, start looking back, or where they stop looking because of the 2005 economic crisis. They start looking at alternatives when the industrial settlement of small districts, rich districts, went in crisis. Okay? So this is the most important, is that with that money, the administration proves that this is a good way of doing things. This is why.
I'm sorry, 1 minute. There is also another problem that the external who manage the caves have also to manage the tourism area of the city. So the budget is not also for the caves. So it's...
Okay, thank you very much.